Hello world and welcome back. I'm Karhu, the Great Bear of the North, and this is Europa Universalis IV, all the DLC up to and including Marino, and of course the Rule 1.25 Rule Britannia patch. We are playing as Venice. We've already taken over, we vassalized the Ottomans. If this is your, not the Ottomans, if this is your first time here, we vassalized the Byzantines. We took over parts of Serbia, and just last episode we took over Sirte and also Mersa Matra in Egypt. We want to use this as a springboard to continue our expansion into Egypt, into the Holy Land, and things like this. Things are turning out well. Now, during the last episode, I did gain access to national ideas. And the question is always, what should my ideas be? Army tradition is good, morale of armies, land leader maneuver, land maintenance modifier -5%. These are all good quality troops because we're not going to have a lot of troops, at least not initially. But I do think that trade is going to be good. It dovetails very nicely with our abilities, with our other ideas as Venice, like with naval force limit modifier, another diplomat, stato d'ama, trade efficiency +10, we can really start to get a lot of money through trade this way. So I think that's what we're going to do. Just as a role-playing thing, is it absolutely the best idea to get? No, but we do get 2 more merchants. You know, I think we're going to go with trade. We're going to do it this way. And we're not going to buy it just yet. We're going to increase our diplomatic technology, and then we're going to go into the national ideas once that happens. Now, we are short 3,700 men from our armies. And that's not good. Because that means that if there is an opportunity to take some land from the Ottomans, we're not perfectly poised to capitalize on that. But it is what it is. Serene Doge, our diplomatic technology level has increased to basic financial instruments. Overseas trade is very risky, but also highly profitable. The development of financial instruments like letters of credit will help reduce the risk, increasing our profits, as will banks, as will double income bookkeeping. All of these developments happened at around this time in Florence, in Venice, in Milan. Different sources will say different things, but suffice it to say, it was all roughly around this same time. Trade range 20, +2% in trade efficiency, and naval modifiers is going up. That's just because our ships are better than they used to be. I really want Alexandria. Is there no longer a fort in Alexandria? Oh no, there is still a fort. It's just not, the icon's just lit on the map because we're not at war with them and it doesn't matter as much. Okay, that makes sense. So let's drop down our army maintenance just a little bit. We don't appear to have much in the way of rebels. Okay, the Sirte is going to rebel. Fizani rebels are going to pop up. How big are they going to be? Fizani separatists are only going to be 7,000. It's the Byzantine separatists that we really need to worry about. But that's fine. This is fine. And not unlike the world is burning around me fine, but this is legitimately fine. It's okay. Still want to watch out for the Ottomans. I mean, now that we border the Tunis, that's actually not particularly good for us. We probably shouldn't have taken Sirte. In retrospect, we really shouldn't have taken Sirte. However, we can claim some more things in Naples. Lucania, there we go. And they're currently at war with Burgundy, Flanders, and Friesland. Sometimes it takes me a while to transliterate these because I am using the Toponymic Names Mod, which, remember, now the growing power of the Council of 10. The Council of 10 was kind of this, like, it has this reputation of being this shady spy organization that was in everybody's pockets and everybody's bedrooms, and to a certain extent they absolutely were, but yeah, the Council of 10 was basically the security council for the Venetian Republic. With over 1,000 hereditary memberships, the Great Council of Venice is perhaps not always the quickest and most efficient governing body. It is therefore not surprising that the much greater flexibility of the small Council of 10, originally intended to safeguard the Republic from plots and conspiracies, has led to them assuming more and more power. Basically, imagine if the FBI and the CIA were talking right in the president's ear. Kind of like that. By increasing its own power, however, the Council of 10 decreases the influence of the more representative Great Council. Many of the families on the Great Council feel things have gone too far, as while new members of the 10 are elected each year, the positions are often monopolized by a small clique of old aristocrat families. Reforms have been proposed to curtail the power of the 10 by limiting their influence to emergencies as was originally intended. We can restrict the power of 10, give us more Republican tradition, but I don't really care about that. It will increase aristocrat influence and its stability cost modifiers, or we can support the 10. Autonomy change will drop, so that means our newly conquered territories will actually become more productive. Yearly Republican tradition will go down, as will overall Republican tradition, and this is what I want. I want to become a kingdom. I want to do that. I mean, at this point in time, actually, what is our government rank? What is our government rank? Our government rank is currently kingdom, so yeah, we would be a kingdom. We wouldn't be an empire quite yet. Oops. But we would definitely be a kingdom, and that's good. Kingdoms are good in this game. Merchant republics are getting actually republics in general, I believe, are getting a real upgrade, a boost in the next patch, in the next expansion. But first of all, I've missed the last like 5 expansions, and that's a ways down the line. So, anyways, military technology. A pike is a remarkably simple weapon to make, but to get the full benefit from the use of the pikes, it's required for the whole formation to be wielding weapons of similar length and blade. Combat width increased by 2, infantry shock, cavalry shock going up, enables men-at-arms, longbow, and Galilee infantry. Let us get men-at-arms. This makes sense for Italians, right? We're a professional soldier in Western European armies of the late Middle Ages. Knights and noble families would employ a number of men-at-arms to form their retinue. We could do longbow with it, but that's more of an English thing. And Galilee infantry is mostly Gaelic, like the Scots, like Hebrides and things like that. So let's go with the standard men-at-arms. Just because it is a little bit more role-play-ish, I guess. We can build up some of our tax base, but because we are getting trade ideas, let's start building up our trade a little bit more. Let's build up our trade in... Can we even do that yet? No, because we're still making this a core, Mersa Matra. So, yeah, let's build up our tax base. In Candia, in Crete. There we go. Everything is good. Actually, what is our trade power in... Oh, there's an election. Somebody died. We've gained a core province. Cert is now a part of our territory. Fantastic. Our trade power is... We only transfer 0.71 to Venice. Oh, that's boo. That's boo. That's okay. We'll eventually expand that. The unfortunate passing of Leonardo d'Alviano forces us to hold a premature election. Premature election. Enzo Giustiani or Girolamo Cassandro, bureaucrat candidate. I want to take over a whole bunch of stuff. We might as well do that. Although we could have done with a diplomat candidate just to give us a little bit more diplomatic power to get our ideas up a little bit faster. But no, this is good. And let's immediately turn him into a leader. There's no stability hit if your Doge dies in battle. So Enzo Giustiani, there we go. Fantastic. And we still don't have any manpower. It's going to take us another 10 months to replenish everybody. And then from there, we'll actually start building up our manpower. There's a revolt. Oh no. High taxes and cultural and religious differences have caused unhappiness among our citizens. If this continues, it will drastically affect the stability of our nation. Local unrest plus 10 insert. They're going to rebel anyways, so that's not really an issue. Or we can lower taxes. Local unrest will drop by 5. What is the local unrest insert? It's 18.2. It's 18.2. Now, here's the thing. Because they're not a state yet, autonomy is not going to drop more than 75%. And that's not really all that much. Like right now it's giving us 0.01 in terms of overall production. I want this more as just clay than anything productive. I mean, it's desert. It doesn't matter, right? So you know what? We're actually going to increase local autonomy, and then we're actually going to lower the taxes. It'll give us plus 20 local autonomy insert, but their local autonomy is already maxed out. So there we go. There we go. We're all good. But they will still rebel anyways. So let's increase our army maintenance. Let's get the new Doge over there, and then we'll get some more guys over there as well, just in order to protect from that. And I believe we can fabricate another claim on Egypt. On Mamluks, we will fabricate a claim on Derna, just to just to complete this. There we go. And let's also get the other 9,000 over. That should be plenty just to deal with 7,000 separatists. Actually, with all of the bonuses we got to everything, Bosnia will no longer trade power to Venice. Uh-oh. Oh, I know where we're going next. Their unrest is actually 0. It's actually minus 1.8. So this Fizani separatism will drop just because of the almost like a policing bonus you'll get from your armies. So there we go. That's pretty cool. That's going to drop considerably. I like that. Our missionary strength still isn't that high. So that's not quite good for us. Let's see. Munster wants to... Oh, Iberian wedding. Oh no. They went with, let us bind their dynasty to ours. We have lost the humiliated rival Casus Belli against Aragon, which also means that Naples is going to be a lot more difficult to take. Because now Castile, who's our ally, is on their side. Oh, this is not what I wanted. Right. Anyways, so wait, our new rival is going to be... We're still 27 years away from the Shadow Empire, or the Shadow Kingdom, so our rival will be the Mamluks as well. This isn't good. So now what we really want is to support their independence. We want to agitate, but their liberty desire isn't high enough, isn't anywhere nearly high enough. Darn it, I was hoping we could get, they went with the wrong thing in the Iberian wedding. Darn it. Our truce with the Byzantines is ended. How is... Oh, good. Good. See, Albania is no longer guaranteed by the Ottomans, which means we could kick them out, but then that's also out of our trade league, but then there's also a chance that the Ottomans will then move in. The Ottomans are still guaranteeing the independence of Ragusa, Dubrovnik. I really want to take that city, but that will have to wait for a while. I think our next goal will actually be to take Cyprus. No, we're going to keep them in our trade league. Once we do become a kingdom, we're going to try to incorporate them that way, actually. Alright, so everything is good. Everything is going well. I think. Yeah, we can actually build some stuff. Let's build up our tax base in Necropont. I probably should be building up my trade base instead. Republican traditions debated. Our young and fragile republic, at this point in time, it's been a republic for 770 years, is experiencing severe debates, some even turning violent, between supporters of the old regime and the sturdy defenders of liberty and freedom. How shall we react to this? We need a king. Because we can gain Republican tradition, but then we'll lose stability. No, we need a king. Military access from Mantua? Nope. Not doing that. Mersa Matra is now considered part of our territory. How about... Uh-oh. Ooh. This is what we want. Okay, so we do have some claims on Bosnia. We have claims on Travonia, Herzegovina, and Donji Kraji. And right now, as it stands, they're at war with Hungary. I don't want that to happen. I don't want Hungary to take those territories. I want to take those territories. So we're going to move our guys up to Bosnia, and we are going to take those territories that we have claims on. But, conveniently enough, the recent war took a heavy toll on our people. That is correct. Many were called, few returned. The families of nobles and commoners alike toiled as they waited for soldiers to return home, but the war ended, and they never did. Now the toiling continues, many being so preoccupied with the work to make up for the lost pair of hands that they barely have time to grieve. Of the ones who have time to think, many are increasingly thinking that we have been throwing away lives too carelessly. To be fair, we got 2 tiny little strips of desert. Should we have lost 12,000 men? Whatever, it's in the past, can't bring them back. We can ease the tax burden on the bereaved. National tax modifier drops by 15%. Let us be more lenient drafting for the army in the future. National manpower modifier drops 20%, but we're trying to build up our manpower, so we don't actually want that. Or, this is the price that must be paid for our glorious nation. We also don't want that, so you know what, let's just ease the tax burden on the bereaved. It sucks, but that's the way it is. Now we also want to slide in and take Bosnia. Bosnia is only allied with Serbia. That is fine. Byzantine peasants have risen up in Achaia. Oh, that's fine. That's not even our territory. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to take Bosnia first, and then we will attempt to deal with that. At least that's the plan. But right now, diplomacy, declare war. No, we don't have. I totally thought I'd built. Totally thought I'd built those up. We don't actually have claims there. Okay, well, you know what? Let's quickly build a spy network. Let's see if we can do that. I goofed. That must have been in my off-camera game. And the Ottomans have declared war on Serbia as well, which will put them in more direct conflict with Hungary, which is good. And there's now a crusade against the Ottomans. What is their... Whoops. What is their military? Their army is still... Their army is actually less than mine. Their navy is quite high. Huh. This could get interesting, especially if Hungary gets involved. Especially if Hungary gets involved. So you know what? While this is going on, we might as well help out our friends, the Eastern Romans, the Byzantines, and national unrest. Hey, there's an excellent vintage. I like wine. I like wine. All right. So let's take these guys. Let's actually smash them from taking Sparta. There we go. And yeah, are the Ottomans ripe for a plundering? Genoa broke their alliance with Savoy. Trader, a great advisor has died. No. Trade efficiency plus 10. Let's immediately get a new trader. Fantastic. Division in the Council. The Republic functions because of the agreed common purpose of the rulers, who in turn represent the settled will of the ruled. Our Republic has been turning back on the traditions that made us strong. The lack of cohesion in our ruling council is costing us militarily. Lose 50 military power. This is not good. There's nothing we can do. We've lost a trade conflict against Bosnia. So let's actually get our army back there. Right, so let's get our army back there into Bosnia so we can actually have some people to attack with once we eventually declare war. Unless the Ottomans take over Bosnia, which would be bad. Which would be bad. What we need is that crusade to actually go through. We need another crusade. We need France. We need Castile declaring war on the Turks. Would be amazing. But they're totally not going to join us. No, in fact, our diplomatic relations is too low, our diplomatic reputation, because if they would join us if our diplomatic reputation were higher. What is our current relationship with France? Is 8. It's 10 with Castile, so they're actually high enough, and with the papacy is 21. The papacy is 21, so we're close enough that we can declare war on them, and hopefully France will help. But unfortunately, our diplomatic reputation is such that because we annexed Corfu and Naxos, our reputation is such that that the big guys aren't actually going to help us, which doesn't help. Right? We need Castile, we need France, and we need the Pope. So once that modifier, actually, when will that modifier go away? 2nd of May, 1465, in a month. Huh. Is this the time when we declare war on the Turks, on the Ottomans? They only have 24,000 troops. Combined, we have a lot more than that. We have a lot more than that. If we can get Castile involved, with the Serene Doge, with the backing of the members of the Holy Roman Empire, the Emperor has decided to go through with the reform called for Reichsreform. Reform the empire to a more centralized model. Construction cost and development cost goes down for everybody. Okay. But is now the time that we call a crusade? Oh, Serbian separatists in Kosovo and Raška. Kosovo, let's reduce one of them. Can we get Raška down? You know, let's just give them more autonomy. They're not giving us all that much anyways in terms of production. So let's drop these guys over. There we go. Rise of a despot. The lack of respect for the Republic has slowly eroded its foundations. To preserve the stability of the state, Serene Doge Enzo Giustiniani has proclaimed himself dictator for life. See, Doges were already elected for life, so this doesn't really change anything. But type of government changes to Republican dictatorship, fantastic. During the 15th century, the Italian peninsula was a mix of states of different sizes, powers, and forms of government. It was also highly unstable. States both large and small oscillated between monarchies and republics. Milan was a duchy, then became a republic, then again a duchy under a former turncoat mercenary captain, as we saw in episode 1. Florence was nominally a republic, but was dominated by one family, the Medici, and even became the New Jerusalem when under the spell of a charismatic firebrand preacher. There were even 3 popes for a few years in the early 1410s, but Venice, like the Mongols, was the exception. Venice was ruled, at least in name, by a doge, often styled as Serenissima Principe. Not a true hereditary duke, but not a short-term gonfaloniere either. The duke was elected for life, and was ostensibly the head of Venice's government, military, and church. In reality, by the time of Europa Universalis IV, the doge's power was extremely limited in scope. The first few centuries were somewhat turbulent for the dogeship. There were a series of exiles in the 8th century, assassinations, nepotism, and dominance by the Participatio clan in the 9th and 10th centuries. But following significant reforms in 1172 and 1268, the office was remarkably stable. This was by design, as the Venetians saw the instability throughout the peninsula and both the Holy and Eastern Roman empires and sought to limit the ability of any one faction to dominate Venetian politics. Venice's government system was highly complex. All citizens and patricians were part of the Arengo, the body republic to whom the government was ostensibly beholden. The Maggior Consiglio, or Great Council, was a group of 2,000 men who elected from themselves officials for the other positions in the government. At first, all men could conceivably be part of the Consiglio, but potential membership was limited to certain noble families after the Serrata or closing in 1297. The Great Council elected the Pregati, the 120-man Senate responsible for running the government itself, the Council of 10, already making an appearance this episode, who oversaw all government activities and may or may not have been spy masters, depending on which source you read, the Criminal 40, or Quarantia, who acted as the Republic's Supreme Court, and the Council of 6, or Sestieri, who each represented one of Venice's districts and acted as the Doge's advisors. Together, the Sestieri, 3 heads of the Quarantia, and the Doge acted as the Signoria, or the main decision-making body of the Republic. With the exception of the Doge, most government positions were very short-term, some only lasting for a few months, and there were restrictions on how often one could hold office in a given period. The restrictions on the Doge were even more significant, perhaps as a result of the term of the office. Unlike the pirate-fighting Pietro Orseolo or the blind crusading Enrico Dandolo, Renaissance Doges were limited to staying inside the Palazzo Ducale at almost all times, barring ceremonial occasions. The Palazzo is nice and all, but I don't know if I could stay there until I died. Further, the Doge was prohibited from independently communicating with foreign powers, to effect religious appointments or secular elections. In many ways, the Doge was nothing more than a notary public. A notary republic, perhaps? The restrictions even applied to the Doge's family. His wife, the Dogeressa, was limited to what she could wear, even beyond the typical sanctions on clothing at the time. And his sons and grandsons were prohibited from holding office beyond that of the Maggior Conseil. By the time of the fall of Venice in 1797, the Doge had to follow more than 300 pages of promissori or oaths. The Magna Carta had nothing on Venetian restrictions. Even the Doge's election was complicated. Now bear with me for a bit, but here goes. From the Great Council, 9 men were chosen by lot to form a group responsible for suggesting 40 men. Not 40 candidates for the Dogeship, no, that's way too easy to corrupt. This 40 would become 12, again by lot. These 12 chose 25, reduced again by lot to 9, who elected 45, reduced to 11, who chose 41 men who would choose the Doge. And the Doge had to be elected with at least 25 of these 41 votes. It's confusing, but it worked. With very few exceptions, the Doges were effective and relatively efficient and put the interests of the Republic above their own. Except for Marino Faliero. Keep in mind that the story I'm about to tell you is debated by historians, but this is the version of events that locals apparently swear by, and I can see why. It's delicious. When Faliero was elected, he was nearly 80 years old, a diplomat and a veteran of the Serenissimi's naval campaigns against the Genoese. His brand new wife, Eleusia, was much younger than him, very beautiful, and let's just say she was very popular with the young noblemen of Venice. One of these noblemen was future Doge Michele Steno, who publicly boasted of his dalliances with the young Dogeressa. Furious at being embarrassed by his wife's extracurricular activities, Faliero sought a way to bring the brash, arrogant, and, in his mind at least, unworthy nobility under heel. He recruited 2 men to help him overthrow the government, each of whom was supposed to bring in a network of up to 800 men into the coup. Needless to say, some balked at this plan, and news quickly reached the Council of 10, responsible for keeping the Doge in check. All 3 initial conspirators quickly pleaded guilty. In total, 10 men were hanged outside the Palazzo Ducale. But Faliero was beheaded and his body mutilated. Further, his portrait in the hall of the Major Council was removed, replaced with a black curtain, which you can still see today. Under this Damnatio Memoriae reads a Latin inscription, Hic est locus Marini Feletro decapitati pro criminibus. Here is the place of Marino Faliero, decapitated for his crimes. Yikes! Let's hope that doesn't happen to Enzo Giustiniani. This will, however, slightly change our trade relationship. So we have Ragusa, Constantinople, and Alexandria. Good, this is where we wanted people anyways. Fantastic. Excellent. Excellent. So, our Serbian separatists are going down. Alright, there's no trade league anymore. There's no trade league, which means Albania, boom. I'm going to take Albania while the Ottomans are otherwise occupied, and we'll take Albania and Rhodes. This is a good time. I mean, our trade power just dramatically dropped, but our territorial power will go up. And yeah, we also need to deal with estates. Okay, so nobility. The nobility deals well in places that have high manpower. So let's give Verona. Let's give Verona to the nobility. Let's give it to there's some gentlemen of Verona, if you will. We'll increase their loyalty. Fantastic. And the clergy. Let's give, Aquileia used to be a patriarchate. So let's give that back to them. And let's also give them Montenegro. Oh, they still need more land. Montenegro and... I'm trying to think which from a storytelling perspective, which one makes most sense. Treviso, Brescia, no, Brescia. Let's give them Negropont. Why not? Oh, they're still not there. Let's also give them. Let's give them Crete. There we go. All right, now that their loyalty is really, really high, let us ask let's not ask the burghers for contributions. Let us ask the clergy to send an emissary to the Pope. We'll gain 10 papal influence. No, our papal influence goes down because we're Venetians first, Christians second, so it's not good. Seek support of the clergy. Demand administrative support. There we go. Right, because their loyalty was already fairly high anyways. And it's also get nobility, demand military support. Fantastic. We'll build a church in Athens. Amazing. Amazing. Dissolution of the Great Council, strengthened Council of 10 will be removed from Venice because there's no longer a Council of 10. However, how many armies does Rhodes have? 7,000. Here, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take these guys, slide them into Candia, into Crete. We're then going to take this army, send it up into Candia as well, and we're going to do a double-pronged invasion. I mean, double-pronged is we're going to send the first wave over, and then we're going to immediately send over a second wave. Ooh, the Palestinian coast. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I forgot that those guys were still sitting in the Palestinian coast. Oh, we lost 3 ships. We did, however, gain a galley. That wasn't enough. That was unfortunate. That was not good. But these guys... See, I always forget. There's so many things going on. It's really easy to forget what you're doing. So anyways, these guys will slide in there. Excellent. And then they're immediately going to slide back out to try to take out the knights. Oh, no, the knights are running away. Knights are running away. Uh-oh, we have no money. Let's increase our administrative technology. Production efficiency plus 20%, and yearly corruption will go down by 5. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, the workshop, or putting out system, was used in early modern Europe to organize the production of everything from textiles to wrought iron. With materials provided, craftsmen could refine various goods in either workshops or in their own home, bypassing the rigid restrictions of the guilds. We can now build a workshop and a farm estate. But you know what? We're going to raise war taxes. Boom. There we go. That changed our money situation. Now let's also immediately try to invade Rhodes. Okay. Let's do this in 10 days. Come on. Excellent. Come on, go, go, go. And then transport these guys across. Then as soon as that battle commences, as soon as that's done, these guys will start to transfer over as well. And that will be in March 31st. And our siege of Albania is going quite well. Serbian separatists have risen up in Kosovo. We will deal with them later. Alright, so it is now... Okay. Let's get these guys over. Not that I really think it matters, but that extra 6,000 could be an issue. Good. We won the Battle of Rhodes. Excellent, excellent. We took a loan. Yeah. That's fine. I'm okay with this. I am okay with this. National decisions available. Pass the De Heretco Comborendo Act. Make it an illegal offense, punishable by burning at the stake to either own or produce a translation of the Holy Bible. Missionary strength will go up. National tax modifier will go up. There's really no downside to that. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Serbian separatists have taken Kosovo. That's fine. Relative fails local rule. Having taken care to appoint trustworthy people to important positions, we have coincidentally ended up with many of the Lord Protector's close relatives as local rulers. That's purely, that's okay. It's okay. I trust them. They're good men. Sad. Whatever. Terrible, terrible impression. While this affords us more control over how our policies are implemented in the nation, the people of Trieste are claiming to suffer under incompetent mayor. In their eyes, Venezia is returning to a time when power was determined by family ties, and they are paying the price. The people have spoken the mayor should resign, will lose some power but will gain Republican tradition, whatever. Or the allegations are nonsense, will lose Republican tradition but will gain unrest in Istria, that's fine. Monte Nuovo. Man, the original system of loaning in Italy was a joint stock fund where each citizen had to lend a certain amount of cash in exchange for interest called Monte Vecchio, the Old Hill. In the mid-15th century, Venetian bankers introduced a guaranteed minimum payment of interest to the lenders, which increased the amount of money people were willing to lend. This Monte Nuovo was extremely successful and funded many of Venice's wars. What shall we do? We can introduce the loans. Our interest per annum will drop for 100 years, or we can lose to inflation. What is our current inflation? It's 0.87. Let's introduce the loans. Whatever. Okay, Bosnia, we can actually get our claims on Bosnia, fabricate claims on Travinia, because I want to connect these, one, and that's all we can get. I think we can get another one in, yes, in Al-Turkiya. Let's get Dernat Benghazi, again, to connect all of this. Fantastic. All right. And then the next one that we claim in Egypt will be Alexandria. Of course. Of course. Good. So we're taking Rhodes. We've lost the Conquest Casus Belli against... Oh. Bosnia just lost Travinia. And Serbia no longer exists as a thing. Smugglers are running rampant? No, that's always too expensive. You know what? We can get rid of the smugglers. We can get rid of the smugglers. Ooh, the Serbian separatists actually beat the Ottoman army. I like that. I like that indeed. Humiliate rival against Al-Turkiya. Okay. Yeah, Lubeck Hanseatic League just expanded. Oh, yeah, whatever. I don't really care about the Hanseatic League. They don't interest me at all right now. And Shkoder Shkateri. Ragusa declared war on Bosnia. They're trying to conquer Bosnia. Okay. So you know what? Let's make a claim. This is a little bit of trickery. Ragusa must have a conquest casus belli against Herzegovina, right? So if we claim Herzegovina, then we're going to have a conquest casus belli against Ragusa as soon as they take it over. Fantastic. So you know what we're also going to do? Although they're currently... No, they're still being guaranteed by the Ottomans, which is not good. The Knights just accepted the, just embraced the Renaissance, which sucks to be them because they're about to lose. And Ottomans are now at war with Hungary. Okay. This is starting to get a little bit interesting. And this has already been about how long I want this episode to be. So I'm Karhu, the Great Bear of the North. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please like, please subscribe, please comment. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Most importantly, have a fantastic day. Learn your history, everybody. And I'll see you all next time in the Most Serene Despotate. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Ciao.